Hey guys, if you missed it before, I already gave you guys my spoiler-free review of Search Party Season 4. Now, this is a pretty good season. Like I said in my review, the middle kind of went off course and there was some Chantal stuff that I feel like we didn't need. However, I'm ready to talk to you about the ending because it can be a little bit confusing. So let me give you the ending of Search Party Season 4 explained. Warning, guys, there's going to be massive spoilers in here. This episode, the last 4 episodes of the season, actually dropped today on HBO Max. If you haven't already been watching this show, check it out. I mean, it's super easy to binge, okay? So there's not a lot of episodes and they're only sitcom-y style. They're 25 minutes. So it's definitely worth watching. But we are in season 4 now and it just ended. And I'm here to talk about the ending because this is crazy, you guys. Hey, Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. Okay, so first of all, I want to say that it is not known at the time of this recording if there is going to be a season 5 or not. I thought for sure they were wrapping this up to be the end of the series, and then of course they throw in a little surprise at the end, as they love to do with a cliffhanger at the end of the season. Real quick, let's go over the main plot points of this season of Search Party. So, as we know, at the end of season 3, Dory was kidnapped by her obsessed fan, aka Chip. He built this really weird apartment in his basement that is basically her apartment, but all cloth and stuff. It's very weird. All soft stuff, I guess, so she can't escape. But it was just weird. So he kept her down there. Of course, he was giving her an apple every day. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, I guess. And she would take the little sticker and put it on the door, which is how you know that months went by. I still don't believe, and I don't like that her friends, Drew, Elliot, and Portia, just kind of believed that she abandoned them so easily and that she said those things to them. I'm a little annoyed, but I am glad that Drew eventually figured it out when he saw a photo that was photoshopped that had the same sweater that he actually had of Dory's. So I was glad he figured that out. Of course, they were on their way trying to find Chip, who ended up brainwashing Dory, hit her on the head, played this music, made her forget everything that she went through, basically, and made her think things were a little different. Her friends were actually the ones who did all this stuff to her. And so eventually she starts calling herself Stephanie, and she even will go out in public with Chip. They're both dressed with wigs and crazy outfits that were from his aunt/mom, which we found out, yes, he is inbred. His aunt is his mother. That was quite a twist. I thought it was very interesting. But so eventually the gang sees the picture of Chip on the little stickies. They tweet about it. They go to the factory, and it's clear these are, Chip's parents. The mom is not Chip's mom, but they know they need to do something to figure this out. So what does Chip's father do but call Chip's mother/his sister? It's so gross. But anyway, and says, listen, we need to figure this out. We need to get this off the radar, right? Clean up his mess. So what happens but Susan Sarandon comes in as his mom/aunt, which it was amazing having her be part of this season. I absolutely loved it. She shows up. She ends up finding them. Well, they're out. So does Elliot, Portia, and Drew. I blanked on his name for a second. They find her. They end up having to basically kidnap her from Chip because she's all messed up in the head. Well, then we get this weird Chantal episode, which I wasn't a giant fan of, but she's on the TV and she says, honestly, myself, which is something she said in the first season, which really made Dory flashback and realize everything that had happened to her, right? She realized it. And she searches out. Well, real quick, she tells the gang, as Chip had her call them in the letter, it tells her friends that she remembers everything. They go to eat. And she realizes that she's a mess. And she drives back to Chip and she begs Chip to brainwash her again. And he has the best reaction. He's like, first of all, I don't know what I did. I bonked you on the head and I read half a book and I did all this stuff and it was a full moon and who knows why it worked. I don't know how to do it. But also, all I'm hearing is you want this for you. Now, I did it for me. I wanted a friend, Chip says. So, I kind of felt a little bad for Chip in that moment. He's definitely a sociopath. But I felt a little bad for him that, he's telling Dory, all I wanted was a friend. Because Dory has a track record of not being a very good friend over the last few seasons. She did get a little annoying to me last season and this season as well. But so anyway, that's that. And then they go to leave, and Chip's mom / aunt says, listen, you crossed the line. We can't pay her off. We can't take her with us. Like, we have to kill her now, basically. She doesn't say that, but she alludes to it. And she knocks her down the stairs, locks her in the basement again after changing the code clearly, and sets the house on fire. Now, the very end of the second to last episode, we see Dory passing out and presumably being engulfed in flames and dying. The final episode of the season actually made me shed some tears, quite a bit of tears, because we get Dory's funeral, right? We didn't see her die, but it was alluded to at the end, and we see all her friends and family talking about her, saying things about her. It's very interesting because we have the 4 different season versions of Dory that come in and sit quietly and watch the funeral discussions, I guess, the speeches at the funeral. And then the friends there, Elliot, Portia, and Drew, go back to Elliot and Portia's apartment, and there's a little box there with a note from Chip that's basically like, we're watching you always, and it's got Dory's hair in it, and the camcorder, if you remember when he recorded her saying, Chip is my best friend, when he forced her to do all that. So that could have easily been the end. And also during the funeral, someone came up to Portia and said, I'm clairvoyant, and you're being told the number's 518. So as they're sitting there, Portia kind of dawns on her, and she fast forwards to 5 minutes and 18 seconds in the camcorder, and it is Dory saying goodbye to them, right? So she must have found the camcorder, and she's saying goodbye to them as she's dying, saying she loves them and thanked them for everything, and they're all crying, holding each other. That is when I was bawling my eyes out. I was very sad. I didn't feel like I would be this upset, but I was. And that could have easily been the end of the season of the series. However, then we cut to Dory being wheeled out of the house. She's got oxygen on, and she says, I'm dead. I saw the whole thing. I had died. So could there be a season 5? For sure. I feel like there has to be at this point. I really don't want them to end it like this. So how is the ending explained? So what exactly happened? Obviously, the funeral didn't happen. It was all a hallucination, and it was all in Dory's head as she was laying there passed out and dying. As soon as it ended, my husband said, well, this makes no sense. Why would they have a funeral if they didn't have a body? I mean, she's okay. And I'm like, no. I'm pretty sure this was like all in Dory's head. As she was dying, this is what she imagined would have happened. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you thought about that ending. Did you think it was a cop-out? Did you kind of wish it ended after the funeral? I kind of wish as much as I love this series, I would have really liked to see the series end like that, with the 3 of them crying on the couch and Dory dead, and that's a great ending place. So hopefully, if we do get a season 5, they have some really good plans here. I am intrigued, I guess, to say the least. You guys let me know your thoughts, though, down below in the comments. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on videos like this one. As always, you can follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Mama's Geeky over there, MAMASGEEKY. Thanks, guys.